Hi, I'm Ray Williams of openimage.com.au. This is the second part of the white balance video which I did last week. This one's all about white balance if you've got a raw image. So first of all, let's go and find a raw image. I'll go into so I'm double clicking in the middle, just for those of you who've forgotten how to open your images. I'm going into my white balance. Let's just see if I can find it here. And right, so I'm going to pick up this raw image I've got here. Now obviously when you go to a raw image, it picks up the raw converter. Most of you should know that already. So this is a raw image taken at Taramita Beach a couple of weeks back, pre-sunrise, hence the reason why the water looks so lovely. And I'll do some stuff to it, but basically I want to go through the white balance pieces first of all, and then show you how I would go and balance this. So very first thing is, you've got two white balance tools here. You've got one which is the actual white balance tool itself, and you've got the color sampler. So the idea of the color sampler is to find an area for which it's pure as possible with a mixtures of colors. So if you look over on the right hand side here, where it's got the RGB, as I float my mouse around, you can see those numbers changing. What you're trying to do is get the numbers to be as close together as possible, which that's not bad there. 245, 248, 249. And then what I would do is use the color sampler, come back to around the same area, and see if I can find that. Yeah, that's nice there. And then click. And when you click, it gives you that point with those numbers there, right? So then I'll go off and find three generally. Find another one, another set. No, what about down here? No, that's way off. So is that? That's not too bad. 11, 5, 7. So I'll put one there. And lastly, let's see if there's something up here. No, there's nothing there. Oh, 5, no. Somewhere around here then maybe. Hold on. 2, 8, yeah, that'll do. So now I've got 3 points to refer, and this is basically, when you look at the shot, it's you're going to have to look at your screen and work out whether or not it suits your coloring. So I've now switched across to the white balance tool now, which is up here on the left, and then I'll come and test out and see what number 1 looks like when I click on it. So it's giving it that red feel, which given the time of day it was, it's not too far off. I'll go to number 2. Let's have a look at what number 2 gives me. Completely different. I like that one too. And number 3. So number 3 and number 1 are very similar. Probably number 1's a little bit richer. Yeah, a little bit richer. So if I'm going to take a choice, it's a tough one. I think I'll go with color number 1. And remember, this is all subjective. It's up to how you feel about the image. So I'm going to have it very red. And if you're happy with that, that's all you do for the white balance. All right, basically, you set it. I'm going to now straighten this up a bit with the horizon. Press OK. So that's now straightened. So all I did was go up here to the straightening tool, go to the end of the horizon and drag it out. And that's what I did there. And there's a few marks on the what I think was on my lens at the time. So I'm going to deal with that here. Of course, I can deal with it later on in Photoshop, but why do it in Photoshop when you can do it here? Yeah. So let's go into there, and let's give myself a little heart. And this is quite cute. This is the way this does that. So basically, you go over the spot. It then gives you an adjacent one that it's going to copy from. And let's have it copy from over there. And then do the same over here from that little spot. And it's going to copy from there. And then that little spot. And it's going to copy from there. So that's that one. And then there's something here which is going to be interesting to try and do. Oops, no, it's done it. It's done it. And maybe something here. Right, so once you've tidied it up, which I have done, there's probably a few other bits and pieces to do in here. If you press the hand tool, it takes away all the circles. I can still see I've got another one there, which I missed. So I'll go here, and then press circle again. And there you go. So that's an image that's now straightened. White balance is where I'd like it to be. I don't particularly want to, I could have changed it to a bluey white balance, but this, like I said earlier, this was pre-sunrise, and that kind of works well for me. From a setting perspective, I may come over here and change the auto settings, give it a bit of contrast. Clarity, let's see what we can do for sharpening, not too much. That's quite sweet. And I'm actually going to crop this. This is a little bit too wide for me. I wasn't really wanting it that much. So, because I straightened it earlier on, the crop tool's engaged. And you can still see the straightening piece. I'm going to bring it down a bit. Yeah. And then press the hand tool. And there you go. So there's an image finished. There's a few other marks in the sky, but of course you can play with this in Photoshop later on if you wanted to. Or I could, for instance, decide later on that I wanted to do all of it in Photoshop rather than do any of it in here. Doesn't really matter as long as it does the tool. It's basically a stamp tool all over again. And that's basically it. So this is part 2. So this is how you mess around with your white balance and get it the way you want it in the RAW converter. Last week I showed you how to do it if you had a JPEG. So this is the RAW one. I hope you liked it. See you again.